Konnichiwa, sir. Today I'm going to talk about Japan. Japan is an island nation located in East Asia. Japan doesn't share any land borders with other nations, though it shares the maritime borders with seven other nations. These nations are China, South and North Korea, Russia, Northern Mariana Islands of the US, the Philippines, and Taiwan. Japan is made of around 6,850 islands, though most of the Japanese lives at the four main islands. These four islands include Hokkaido at number 1, Honshu at number 2, Shikoku at number 3, and Kyushu at number 4. The most populated ones are the islands of Honshu and Kyushu, which combined counts to about 91% of the Japanese population. Japan is also divided into 47 prefectures and 4 categories, which could be seen here. Japan is also a really urbanized nation, with over 90% of the people living in cities, which brings us to the capital of Japan and also the largest city in the world. Tokyo is located in the western side of Japan. It is also a coastal city. The city itself only has about 9 million people, but the metropolitan area has astonishing 37 million people living inside it. Tokyo is the center of Japan's economy and culture. It is the city that keeps Japan moving forward. People even quote it to be Japan's main gear. Most of the business and companies in Japan based or has a branch over at Tokyo. Tokyo is also one of the most productive cities on earth, with its humongous GDP of about 1.8 trillion US dollars. In comparison, Tokyo single-handedly has an economy larger than even Indonesia, as an entire nation. With people all over Japan keeps flocking towards Tokyo every single day, Tokyo may well as be the center of Japan's old and modern culture, which makes Tokyo the culture hub of Japan. But Japan isn't limited to Tokyo, of course. Several cities to highlight are Osaka, the second largest city in Japan, dubbed Japan City of the Youth. It is mostly known for its great foods and its much more laid-back lifestyle. Osaka is also a destination for many Japanese youth who are looking for jobs or a better future. Nagoya, Japan's third largest city, dubbed Japan's automotive capital. It is mostly known for its automotive giants such as Toyota and Honda, but Nagoya is also a great city in itself, both for raising a family and job opportunity. Kyoto, the city of old Japan, dubbed Japan's culture capital. Kyoto is famous for its beautiful and well-preserved old buildings and shrines. Kyoto was also Japan's capital until the Edo period, in which the capital was moved to Tokyo. Sapporo, the largest city in Hokkaido, dubbed the beer capital of Japan. Well known for its beer and snow festivals, Sapporo is a famous city to Japanese people, especially those who are looking for a trip far from Tokyo. Sapporo beer, which originated from Sapporo, is also a popular beer brand in Asia, competing with giants the likes of Asahi. Fukuoka, Kyushu's largest city, dubbed the Silicon Valley of Japan. Other than the rising startup scene, Fukuoka is also known for its beaches and urban lifestyle. Fukuoka is one of the best cities to live in Japan. It's also a rising job scene and a destination for many Japanese youth. But enough about the cities. We will now talk about the people who run this great nation, which brings us to Japan has a population of about 127 million people as of 2018, 126 million as of 2020, and it was beaten by Mexico as of 2019, which makes Japan the 11th most populous nation. Japan is also a really homogeneous nation. 98% of its population is considered as ethnic Japanese and only about 2% are not, which includes but not limited to Chinese, Americans, Koreans, the Hokkaido Ainu, and Okinawa Ryukyus. The Japanese use the Japanese yen as their main currency. They also use the American Type A plug outlet and drives on the left side of the road. The Japanese obviously speaks Japanese or Nihongo in Japanese. They also use 3 different alphabets, which are hiragana, katakana, and kanji, which are basically Chinese characters. Japan is also well known for its culinary, with internationally known dishes such as sushi, ramen, Japanese sando, and many more. Like other nations, the Japanese also has their own unique pop culture, which are but not limited to the uniquely and huge J-pop, the worldwide amazing Japanese comic manga, and the world-class Japanese animation anime. But just like other nations though, despite of all its good side though, Japan also has its downside. Currently, Japan's population is declining with its position as the world's largest aging population. Japan has been declining since the early 2010s. With current rate, Japan's population will drop to around 80 million by the end of the century. Japan also has a problem with overworking. Japan has these black companies which overwork their workers or for the intended time. This occurrence has also has a name in Japan called karoshi. Japan is a nation that's also really prone to earthquake. Small earthquakes happens once every several days, and large ones happens every several years. The really large ones also happens every several decades or even centuries. This resulted with Japan has to constantly prepare itself for the next big shake. Thus makes an insecurity in many Japanese minds. Japan is in fact a really close ally to the US. Thus, it's normal that Japan is also close to US allies such as EU. But strangely enough, though, Japan has a really good relationship with Taiwan, despite never recognized Taiwan as a nation. Well, at least on paper. They acted like they're a nation, though. Meanwhile, Japan has a pretty complicated relation with its neighbors like South Korea and China. South Korea still can't move on from the times Japan occupied them, while China is a communist and antagonized Japan for what it has done in the past. Can't blame them though. Even though many controversies has happened between them, both are still keeping a close economic ties with Japan. In conclusion, Japan is a wonderful nation with great people and culture, but as with many nations, it also has its downside. Currently, Japan is being tested with the recent corona outbreak, the rising tensions between China and the US, and a slowing economy. But Japan will keep on moving forward, facing the problems head on. And as what somebody ever said, a nation isn't the place, isn't the economy, or even the inventions. A nation is its people. Thus, as long as even a single Japanese still stand on this earth, Japan still stand, and it's standing proudly. Thank you.